Welcome to another episode of What's on Your Mind. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV at gmail.com. I'm Carl, and as I say, the program is about what's on your mind. But first, let me look at a few global headlines that's been going on around the world. India. The second wave of COVID-19 has become the worst in the world. The Indian government has been heavily criticized. In one day, 2,263 people has died. Zimbabwe. A military helicopter crash in a house outside Harare, killing a child and 3 members of the crew, the Air Force has said. Indonesia, 53 crew member who was missing from the missing submarine has been found dead. They also found the wreckage. UK, a young 20-year-old man lost his life of trying to save a lady who fell off the bridge in London. His family has said he should be recognized as a hero. Also, Boris Johnson and his former advisor is in a war of words. And I think that will run and run and run. Wow. The USA, Joe Biden tells the summit, this is the time and the decade for tackling climate change. Jamaica, Wagwan, Jamaica. Serious. Former Jamaican sprinter and coach and administrator Dennis Johnson has died of COVID-19. He represented Jamaica in the 1960 Olympics that was held in Greece, and also the 1964 Olympic Games that was hosted in Tokyo. And that was actually the first Asian Olympic Games. Entertainment. Freddie McGregor is all set to reopen the Reggae Live show 3rd of July with his Big Ship Music Fest in Florida. Also, emerging DJ Queen Kaylin has her sights set and ruling the dancehall. She wants to be the dancehall queen. And finally, DMX Kids has paid a tribute to their father. And it was very, very moving. At his memorial, they say he was the best dad that they have ever had. That ends this week. Look around the world. So, as I say, the show is about what's on your mind. What is on my mind? Well, it has affected a lot of families. It has caused chaos. It has affected the hospital. It has affected the police. It has affected the schools. It has affected things that happens on the street. I'm talking about knife crime. How do we get around knife crime? How do we stop knife crime? Can it be done from the school? Can it be done in the home? What is happening with knife crime? The figures are very high in the UK. London remained the most dangerous city, according to some source from the BBC report. Data also obtained from 34 of the 43 police forces. So the rate of serious knife crime rising sharply in some areas outside London. Areas such as Manchester, Slough, Liverpool and Blackpool. So, and Byron Houghton, whose brother Joe was 18, he was stabbed to death with a sword and axe as he walked home in Preston in 2014. And as I say, knife crime is not getting any better and it's not getting any easier. And most of the knife crime involvement are with young boys and girls. And girls is involved as well. It's young boys and girls. And they range, I think the range from about very young to 24, 25 years old. That is the range. And we have girls and girls, girl and girl gang committing knife crime as well. How do we get around that? And how are we going to deal with it? As I say, it has affected the police force, it has affected the hospital, and it has affected a lot of families. What is the answer? How do we do with it? How do we deal with it? What we're going to do with it? And I sometimes wonder, is it started in the home? Is it started in the home? Is it started with families? Because, at home, children will take on what they see their parents is doing. For example, let me give you an example. Say you're in the home and you got a relative, or say your father is a dancehall DJ, right? So he goes to the dance hall and he plays his music and he comes home. And a lot of his music is like, the girl this, the girl that, the girl do everything, right? And then he brings it home and he plays it in his house. Well, his kids will hear that. So that's what I'm saying about parents influencing their kids. So I wonder if that's where all that is coming from. Or is it coming from places like music? People talk about grime music. They talk about all different kind of music. Is that influence knife crime? I don't know. I'm just asking. And how do we sort of tackle it? The one government advisor said they've had spent 20,000 in recruiting new police officers. But I'd say, can they recruit a lot of these police officers from the African Caribbean communities as well? So they can combine the whole issue, so they can go and sort of deal with Caribbean communities when this happens, so they integrate the police force more, so they can also help to deal with this knife crime. And I must also say, because in some press, you will say knife crime, they will say it focuses on mainly African Caribbean people, which is some media press will focus it like that, which is totally not so. Knife crime is a UK problem. Yeah, it affects the whole UK. It doesn't affect one group of people. It doesn't affect one set of communities. You know what I mean? In the northeast, in the northeast, where you hardly find many African Caribbean people, there's knife crime there as well. So it affects a whole different communities. So we need to sort of get ahead of it and see what we can do. People will say education. There's education and education and education. People have been talking about education for such a long time. And it hasn't, I don't think it has sort of worked. I mean, I know there's situation where certain community groups or the police has sort of put out, and I know the police has supported this, has put out bins where you can actually put your knife, whoever got a knife, and they put it in the bin. But the sort of thing of that is that you will see all this, I've never seen it, but speaking hypothetically, you may see a lot of bins get filled with knife. But I think the real people who actually uses a knife is going to go back and get one. They're going to go back to their house. They're going to get back to their wherever they go and get another knife. So it is a very serious thing. And what do you do? It's kids, if kids going to school, what do you start doing? Do you start searching kids for a knife? How does that work? And also in schools, how does that work? How does that work? I also came across an article where certain communities were saying their community has been devastated and they need something to change. And has the government, over the years, the government has cut funds back? Yeah? Is this a part of the problem? I don't know. Is this a problem? I'm just asking you, is this a part of the problem of what is going on? And how do we get around it? How do we get around it? How do we stop it? It is a very, very serious problem in the UK. And as I said, there's also girls who's involved in this. And there's a group of girls who sort of, they feel threatened. And they also they also get involved in this. Two girls, Laura and Lorraine. One was only 18 and was only 19. And she said she was walking in a park and she was attacked with a knife by a couple of lads, and they chased her in the park. How are we going to deal with this? What is the answer? So, I don't know. As I say, if you know the answer, let us know. And I'm sure there's people out there who's very, very clever. People who's been studying this for years, and may be able to deal with this. The other thing, has the money, the funding, has the money made a great difference? Because I suspect major organization has get money to deal with this as well. And people's going to say it's not about the money, but I'm sure major organization would have get funding or get money to deal with this. Has it worked? Has it worked? Why so many kids, or why so many young children, or why so many people killing each other on the street as if they are in a war? When I was young, and I'll probably go back to the fact of, say, teenager. When I was young, there was knife around, but the only knife I ever used was, the one where I used to peel my orange, peel my banana, or do a whole lot of things with. You know what I mean? But as for committing knife crime, it wasn't allowed. My family, you must be joking. You must be joking. Yes, I use a knife to peel my orange and my breadfruit and my banana and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what is the answer and how we're going to deal with it and where is it going to go. And it's a major, major, major big thing in the UK. But I hope one day it will be all sorted out. Now, and you don't forget, you can give me a call on 07872 443 765. That's 07872 443 765. Let me know what your opinion is. I'd love to hear what you have to say to me. And you can phone up the program. We're still here. We're listening. The other thing, I never said, music. Does music affect knife crime? Because I've heard people say drill music. I haven't listened to a lot of drill music, so I don't know what is it? Or grime. Does grime music does this affect knife crime as well? Does it play an influence? Or drugs? Has to be drugs. Drug has to play a major part also in knife crime. Or people selling things for drugs and then getting in different gangs to sort of, yeah, I would say drugs as well probably play a big part, in whatever's going on. Don't forget, as you see this program going, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, yeah? But back to the point. How do we do this? And where is it going to go? Is it going to... And how many generation after generation after generation is it going to affect? I don't know. The next thing I want to talk about is, now this is an interesting one. Because, now, football. Now, a lot of people are going to say this ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about. Common sense. So, for the first time, I've actually seen football been speaking with one voice. Yeah. And they have all come together because of that Super League that was planned in Europe. However, that's not happening. The football board, the football fans, and a lot of other football people, let me say people, has all come together to speak with one voice. So let me ask you then, why don't they do this coming together to deal with racism? Why don't they? Why don't they come together to deal with the problem of racism? Is that a strange question? I don't know. And you're going to say to me, oh, it isn't linked to football. But if you speak with one voice, it just shows what happened when you speak with one voice. The telephone number again is 07872 443-765. Let me know what you think. My final rant is about traffic and climate change. Now, some people say if you have less traffic on the road, it produces less carbon. So it makes a big difference. However, I sometimes wonder, it falls on the motorists again, having to pay different fees for, say, getting to different cities. You got to pay a fee if you're in London. You got to pay. There's a new scheme coming up in Birmingham. Where there's a scheme, isn't there? There's a new scheme coming up in Birmingham where you're having to pay to sort of get into the city centre. Depends on the car that you drive. If you drive a diesel car and it's possibly not 2015, 2016 with a Euro 6 engine, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So. And I was saying, back to the traffic. Diesel cars are the most offensive. Yeah? Diesel cars are the most offensive. And we'll have to see how that goes. It is not possible to everyone to drive a hybrid or to deal with that sort of thing. So we'll have to actually see how that pans out and where is it going to go and how we solve the problem. I know a lot of cars is with hybrid, which is electric cars. That is also a very good thing. I've also seen, I think is it this year in the UK, they're going to start testing electric cars. No, not electric cars. Self-driven cars on the motorway. But I think they will be only allowed to drive at about 35 miles an hour. There you have it. There you have it. So that will be interesting. That will be very interesting. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the weather. Yes. In the UK, they go about, and I wonder if this is because of climate change. In the UK, we hadn't had any rain all April. until today. Today is actually the first time we've actually have what you call a little bit of rain. You remember back in the days, they used to talk about April showers. Everybody used to talk about April showers. Well, in the UK, as I say, we have it. It's all part of the UK. I got to say, because I don't live anywhere in the UK. So I got to say, for the past, yes, I'd say up until today, the month is almost end. So up until today, we haven't had any rain all April. So I wonder if that is climate change. But they say, you should be careful what you ask for, because if you ask for it, you might actually get a lot more than what you can bear. So I'm not asking for it. I'm just mentioning it, because it's one of those ones. Don't forget, the telephone number is 07872 443765. Get you talking to us. Yeah? Get you talking to us. Anyway, let me say thank you for tuning in to the show. As I say, we are here every week on a Wednesday. Had a little bit of technical issue this week, but that's how it goes sometimes, And thank you for tuning. The program, as I say, is produced by Breakthrough TV. And we are sponsors. We are sponsored by the ACMC, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, the Reggae Jam Jerk Center, also Breakthrough Music Studio. Let me say thank you for watching our show. We'll be back here very, very